morning students, here we come up with the gross anatomy lecture of the venous drainage of the heart. So therefore, in the venous drainage of the heart, we start with first point. 60% of the blood, venous blood of the heart is drained into the right atrium. So 60% will be drained into the right atrium, and that will be via coronary sinus. So therefore, via the coronary sinus, this blood will be drained into the right atrium. 60% of the venous drainage of the heart via coronary sinus. And the remaining 40%, of the venous blood of the heart will drain into the various chambers, of the heart. And that will be it will drain via the anterior cardiac veins. So the remaining 40% will drain via anterior cardiac veins into the various other chambers of the heart. This is the formula which you need to remember. This is the introduction of the venous drainage of the heart. Next point. Now, in this venous drainage of the heart, coronary sinus, 60%, this coronary sinus will receive the maximum amount of blood from the left coronary artery. That is very important. So therefore, this coronary sinus will receive maximum amount of blood from the left coronary artery. Whereas anterior cardiac vein will receive maximum amount of blood from the right coronary artery. So this is the second point which you need to understand. And now we go to the basic diagram. Now in the basic diagram, the same diagram which we have to draw, now this will be the inferior border which I am drawing, and this is the left border. And here we come up with the left auricle. Also over here we will come up with the right auricle. Right border, left border, and the inferior border of the heart. Very simple. We are not complicating, we are looking at the heart from sternocostal surface. So this is the view of the heart from sternocostal surface, anterior view. Now what we will draw will be the coronary sinus, which will be located posteriorly. So therefore, the coronary sinus which we will draw over here, please draw in this direction. This entire structure will be the coronary sinus. So here I am giving some color to this coronary sinus. Now, after drawing this much, the next point which we will start with will be the following are the veins which are not draining into coronary sinus. So which are the veins which will not drain in coronary sinus? It can be asked in this way also in MCQs. So the following are the veins which will never drain in the coronary sinus. Which are those veins? Those veins are, they are known as number 1, anterior cardiac veins. And these anterior cardiac veins, for example, if you show it in this direction, these are the anterior cardiac veins which are passing through minor foramen, and these foramen are known as foramina minimarum. So therefore, these are the foramina minimarum through which the anterior cardiac veins will open into the right atrium. So these veins are anterior cardiac veins. How many are there? 3 or 4. There are around 3 or 4 anterior cardiac veins which will directly drain into the right atrium through various foramina minimarum. So that is first vein, anterior cardiac veins, which will never drain into coronary sinus. They will open instead into the right atrium through foramina minimarum. And they will drain what? They will drain the infundibulum of the right ventricle. Draining the infundibulum of right ventricle, and then they will pass through the various foramina minimarum and open into the right atrium, anterior cardiac veins. Second, veni cordis minimi. This is often asked in 1 mark question answer or in MCQ. Veni cordis minimi, they are small minute veins, veni cordis minimi, and they will open in the various chambers of the heart. Again, through minor foramens which are known as foramina minimarum. So again, through foramina minimarum, these veni cordis minimi will open in the various chambers of the heart. So these are the two veins. These are the two veins which will never drain into coronary sinus. Now we come with coronary sinus. Now, if there is a short note which is asked in coronary sinus, then you have to describe only coronary sinus. Sometimes they are asking a short note, write a short note on the gross anatomy of the coronary sinus, then only coronary sinus has to be described. If it is asked as venous drainage of the heart, then you have to describe from first point itself. So therefore now, coronary sinus, what is the definition and situation of coronary sinus? The first point. Now in the definition and situation of coronary sinus, it is I will keep on writing on one side, so please come on this side, I will keep on writing coronary sinus. Now in the definition, it is around 2 to 3 centimeter venous channel which is situated, where is it situated? In the posterior part of atrioventricular groove. So 2 to 3 centimeter in the posterior part of atrioventricular groove. What is the starting point and what is the termination of the coronary sinus? So therefore, this coronary sinus will be continuous from the left margin of atrioventricular groove. That means the left margin will be here. And how this left atrioventricular margin will provide starting point to the coronary sinus by continuation of this vein. And this vein is, for example, if I show here, this is the vein which is known as great cardiac vein. So therefore, this great cardiac vein, here I am showing this is the great cardiac vein. This great cardiac vein is continuous across the left border of the heart, and across the left border of the heart it will continue in the left atrioventricular groove. Then in the posterior segment, posterior part of left atrioventricular groove, where it will continue with coronary sinus. So this is how the coronary sinus will start. Similarly, the coronary sinus will then travel in the posterior part of atrioventricular groove and in the right direction, right inferior oblique direction, but in the posterior atrioventricular groove. And it is located, it will be present till the posterior part of atrioventricular groove only. So this is the location, this is the termination of the coronary sinus. Across its termination, on the right hand side where my finger is there, it will receive one more vein, and that vein which is received will be, which I am going to draw here, this is marginal, and this marginal vein will be draining into the vein which will open across the right end, and therefore this is the small cardiac vein. So here, this vein which I am drawing is the small cardiac vein. And this small cardiac vein will drain the right side of the coronary sinus. So this extensive location is coronary sinus, and here I am going to mark these two veins. So here I am going to mark this as the small cardiac vein. On the right hand side, I am going to explain it to you later on, and here I am going to mark this as great cardiac vein. And here, this I am going to mark it as the coronary sinus. So therefore, this I am going to mark it as coronary sinus. So situation, location, extent we have discussed. Now opening, where will it open? This is the location, situation, how it is forming, where is it terminating, or what vein is joining on the right side, we know this. Now where it will open, very important. This coronary sinus will open in the sinus venarum of the right atrium. Please note it down. This coronary sinus, I am going to write down on this side, it will open into the sinus venarum of right atrium. Please note down. In the sinus venarum of right atrium, exactly what point, what side, because that is asked in so many MCQs, so many times it has been asked. This opening of coronary sinus will open exactly between the opening of, this is very important, it will open between, here I will write down, it will open between the opening of inferior vena cava and right atrioventricular opening, and the right atrioventricular opening, or it is called right atrioventricular valve. So please note down, the entire coronary sinus, this entire coronary sinus will open into the opening in the sinus venarum of the right atrium, in the opening between inferior vena cava and right atrioventricular valve. So in between these two, coronary sinus opening is there, which I have shown you in the interior of right atrium in my previous practical segments. I have shown you where I opened the heart and I have shown you the opening of the coronary sinus, if you view those segments, earlier videos. Now, this opening is guarded by a valve which is known as Thebesian valve. And one more point you have to note down, this opening of coronary sinus, which is located in the sinus venarum of right atrium, and this opening is also, as it is given in various textbooks, it is also located in the lower part of atrial septum. This opening will be in the lower part of atrial septum, but exact location is between the opening of inferior vena cava and the right atrioventricular valve. Keep it in the mind. And now, this opening of coronary sinus, which is regulated by Thebesian valve, just above that there will be AV node. Just above this opening is the location of AV node, atrioventricular node. Please note down. And now we come to tributaries. What are the tributaries? The tributaries will be, number one, here I am going to give the numbers. The tributaries of coronary sinus, the first tributary, great cardiac vein. What you have to write? You have to write only one point. Great cardiac vein will start from the apex of the heart. This is the apex. It will travel in anterior interventricular groove. This is the anterior interventricular groove. And then it will curve around the left border of the heart, where it will join the coronary sinus from its left side. It will join the coronary sinus from its left side, and therefore it will curve around the left border of the heart between the left atrium and left ventricle. So therefore it will be located in the posterior part of atrioventricular groove. This much is about great cardiac vein, first tributary. Second tributary, I will give the name here, I will give the number here. This is the second tributary. Small cardiac vein. Very interesting. See how interesting these topics are. Small cardiac vein. Small cardiac vein will start from the right side atrioventricular groove, where right coronary artery is there. So where right coronary artery was going through the right atrioventricular groove, from there the small cardiac vein will start. And this small cardiac vein will start from the right atrioventricular groove, and it will curve around and join the coronary sinus from its which side? Right side. Great cardiac vein had joined the coronary sinus from its left side. Now this small cardiac vein is joining from the right side because it is traveling in right atrioventricular groove. Please note down. So this small cardiac vein in the right atrioventricular groove. Third tributary. Now third tributary, which we are going to draw, will be posteriorly. We are showing this posteriorly. Please draw in this way. Now this tributary which I am drawing is posterior interventricular groove. It is located in the posterior interventricular groove. And the name of this tributary, here I am going to write down, the name of this tributary will be, it will be known as the middle cardiac vein. So therefore, here I am going to write down on this side, middle cardiac vein, and here I am going to give the number as number 3. Number 3, middle cardiac vein. This middle cardiac vein, number 3, which is present in the posterior interventricular groove, will drain directly into the coronary sinus from its right side. So from the right side, coronary sinus will receive two tributaries, small cardiac vein, middle cardiac vein. From its left side, it will receive great cardiac vein. And these three cardiac veins are often asked in MCQ or 1-mark question answer. Across which grooves these three will travel. So note down the grooves which I have told you. For example, this middle cardiac vein is present in posterior interventricular groove. What about the small cardiac vein? It is present along with the right coronary artery in the right atrioventricular groove. What about the great cardiac vein? Great cardiac vein is traveling in an anterior interventricular groove, and then it will curve around the left side, left atrioventricular groove. So these are the three: great cardiac vein, middle cardiac vein, small cardiac vein. Three major tributaries. Now another two tributaries. Another two tributaries I'm going to draw. One will be on the left side of the middle cardiac vein, and that tributary I draw simply, and this will be known as the posterior ventricular vein. So this tributary, which is receiving from the posterior ventricular surface of the left ventricle. So therefore this will be known as the ventricular vein, posterior ventricular vein. Then it will receive one tributary from the left atrium, and that tributary which it is receiving from the left atrium, this will be known as the left oblique vein of the left atrium. So therefore it will be known as the, here I am going to write down, oblique vein of left atrium. So these two are very easy to remember. This is the ventricular vein from the left ventricle, and this is the oblique vein of the left atrium. Now here this one mark question answer is also there. In the oblique vein of the left atrium, it is receiving the blood from the left atrium, of course, but this oblique vein of left atrium represents the left duct of Cuvier, C-U-V-I-E-R, which I had explained it to you in my embryology segment. So this is the one mark question answer. The left oblique vein of left atrium, which is opening into the coronary sinus, is resembling, or it is a remnant of left duct of Cuvier. That is one point. Second point will be, this vein will be suspended. Now here I will show you with yellow color and green color. This vein will be connected superiorly. So I will show you this connection. It is connected superiorly with left superior intercostal vein. So here I am going to show, this is, for example here, this is the left superior intercostal vein, and there is a fibrous thread. Now this fibrous thread, I am going to mark here, this is the fibrous thread-like structure which is connecting the upper end of left oblique vein of left atrium with that of the left superior intercostal vein. And this fibrous thread-like structure is present in the free edge of serous pericardium. So therefore, in the free edge of serous pericardium, this is the free edge of serous pericardium, this fibrous thread is located. What is this fibrous thread? It is simply a connection between upper end of the oblique vein of left atrium with that of the left superior intercostal vein. So this fibrous thread is located in this serous free edge of the serous pericardium, and therefore this free edge of serous pericardium is known as ligament of left vena cava. The ligament of left vena cava. Please note down, this is another one mark question answer or MCQ. Ligament of left vena cava, or it is known as fold of Marshall. It is also called fold of Marshall. So from this oblique vein of left atrium, two 1 mark individual questions can be formatted, or it can be asked, either MCQ or 1 mark question answer. What is that? Number one, oblique vein of left atrium is a remnant of the left duct of Cuvier. Also, it is connected superiorly with the left superior intercostal vein by a fibrous thread, and this fibrous thread is located in a free edge of serous pericardium, and that free edge of serous pericardium which I have drawn is known as ligament of left vena cava, or it is called fold of Marshall. So therefore this is another 1 mark question answer. So here, very easy to understand the tributaries of coronary sinus. Once again, great cardiac vein, small cardiac vein, then middle cardiac vein. These are the three main. Then one vein which is to the left, which is draining the blood from the left ventricle. Then the last one, oblique vein of left atrium. So these are the tributaries of entire coronary sinus. Thank you very much.